Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Race Day Preview for Saturday, February 28th, 2026. It's a two-day carnival, so I'm happy to see Sunday racing back on the card. Feature event, Alan E. Billy Williams Memorial Trophy. That's race number 9 for overnight allowance, 7 furlong, field of 8. As customary, choose a budget and place your wager within that budget. The tips given, the analysis on this program is merely my opinion. So please note time for the first race. It's 11:40 a.m. So let's begin. It's optional claiming, 350 down to 250, 7.5 furlong, field of 11. I'm going to narrow this race down to 4. And that is 4 Heroine, 5 Wilson, 7 Skyrizy, 8 Let Him Fly. Heroine has a habit of walking out the box. However, it's coming off a layoff. Last time this horse ran was on the 20th of October 2025 and finishing 4th by 7 lengths behind I Hope Primero and Splendid Vision. Stone to stride on that day. Heroine is the kind of horse who likes to run well when fresh. Stable change here. So Norman Smith is the new conditioner. They are giving this one 15 to 1. Will be in front, has some speed, has some pace. Once report fit and sound, Heroine should have a fighting chance of winning this race. 5 Wilson. This is the one I think they will all have to beat. It's down to this level where I think Wilson is most comfortable. Although getting on in ages, 11-year-old horse, but still has a lot to fire. Robert Aladdin calls up 57 kilo, hikes in the scale. But I think Wilson should be the horse to beat here. Was second by 8 lengths behind Hot Dancer on the last occasion. And before that was beaten by Hit and Run. The speedy Hit and Run there. So I think this is a simple task for Wilson. Hardball Aladdin. This is the one I think they will all have to answer to. 7 Skyrizy. Been there or thereabout in most of his races. Has some amount of speed too. Has pace also. Will be on the headline. Got a pull in the weight. Ramon Garden takes the weight down to 53 kilo. If Skyrizy report fit and sound, should have a fighting chance also. 8 Let Him Fly. Very speedy. Has some issues though. Coming off a layoff. Hasn't seen since the 1st of August 2025. But Let Him Fly has a lot of speed, have pace. And if he's sound enough, this one could win this race. This one has a distinction of beating Wilson already. Back in June 2025, beat Wilson by a length and a half, going 6.5. However, I'm going to take 5 Wilson to get the better of 8 Let Him Fly. Then for third, 4 Heroine. For fourth, 7 Skyrizy. Look for a good run from 9 K-Boy. Race 2, maiden condition race for 5-year-olds and up. 6 declared, 5.5 furlong. Very poor race, very naughty race. It reminds me of that horse, Ryan Darby horse, that upset on the last occasion in this type of race. So, the 6 of them, anyone can win. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest that you take all in this race 2. Very poor race. So, I'm taking all of them. 1 God of Thunder, 2 CW's Treasure, 3 Sweet Burn, 4 Blinding Light, 5 Planner, 6 Prince Daniel. God of Thunder should win. Second by 3.5 on last. Very consistent. But as I said, this race is so poor. Any one of these horses can turn up. CW's treasure has been working very well at exercise for this type of race. Was 7 by 17 length on debut back in March of 2025. If this one can reproduce anything near that form amongst these, should win. Sweetburn, very disappointing horse. I totally give up on Sweetburn, but the race again is so poor, you have to give Sweetburn a chance. Figure 8 now off. Let's see what Sweetburn will do. Blinding Light continues to find one or two better. Very fit as a shot also up in the scales, but could win. Planner was seen making late gain on last behind Oh My Gosh. Also, Planner has a chance of winning this race. Tevin Foster now replaces Richie Shakes. Prince Daniel went down to claiming on last, 9 by 13 length back amongst company. Don't underestimate Prince Daniel. So like I said, take all in this race. But I'm gonna go with 1 God of Thunder to beat 2 CW's Treasure. Then for third, 5 Planner, and for fourth, 4 Blinding Light. Any one of these horses can win. Moving on to race 3, 7 declared, 7.5 furlong for restricted allowance. 5 years and up, none with of 3 imported, 5 years up, none with of 2. This race is another tricky race. On paper, I would say Chief Dissident looks like a 5-star banker, but I'm gonna take a few other horses with Chief Dissident, and as such, I'm going with 5 of them. The 5 that I'm gonna go with are 3 Racola, 4 Successful Man, 5 Chief Dissident, 6 Papidon, 7 Monster Vigorous. This race doesn't confine to these 5 because Avajoy also have a shot, likes to run well when fresh. The Soul Warrior has a distinction of beating the likes of Chesney and Racola already at a massive price of 43 to 1. So again, tread carefully in race 3. Racola, very consistent at this level, was beaten by Amazing Force and last. Since coming to this level, has been no worse than third. So look for another good run from Racola. Dane McKenzie on board, gets this one to roar. So look out for 3 Racola to be right there. 4 Successful Man was in that same race, won by Amazing Force. So to stride on that day, I was seen running on, third by 3.5. Once break with this field, Successful Man has a fighting chance. 5 Chief Dissident, this is the one I think they will all have to beat, has a habit of walking out the box. Last time I tipped this one, was seen flying home, was beaten by Bobby Too Bad. That was a much better company than these. So even if Chief Dissident still in the stride, I expect this one to catch them. The trip now increase from 5.5 furlong to 7.5 furlong. So this horse basically get extra 2 furlong to roar at them. 6 Papidon was in that same race, won by Amazing Force, was fought by 5 length. Sneaky Fox now calls up. Watch out for Papidon to run a very good race. Monster Vigorous, 5th by 9 length, beaten by Design Diva. Has some amount of pace. Got a pull in the weight, 51 kilo, compliments of Emilia McLean. Monster Vigorous should be right there also. Tough race to call, but I'm going to take 5 Chief Dissident, giving this one more chance to get the better of 7 Monster Vigorous. Then for third, 6 Papidon. For fourth, 4 Successful Man, rounding off 3 Racola. Any one of these 5 horses can win, but I think Chief Dissident is the logical choice here. Good run is expected from 1 Soul Warrior and 2 Avajoy, as I earlier indicated. Moving on, race 4, 8 declared, 6.5 furlongs, the optional claiming 700 down to 600. think I'm going to narrow this race down to 3. And that is 1, Titan Tempo, Demar Williams. 6, Uncle Peck, Bebita Harvey, Peter John Prasad. And on the outside, 7, Unruly Don. Titan Tempo, very consistent horse at this level. Was second by a length and a quarter on last and beat by Aura Aura. Before that, was second by 2.5 and beat by Miss Cherry. So you know Titan Tempo is very fit, has some pace, has speed also. Can go in front, can relax, can come from off the pace. Very versatile horse. I think Titan Tempo deserve a win now. Last time this horse won a race was on the 8th of June 2025 when Start the Pace and beat I Realize and She's My Edge Fun. So I expect Titan Tempo, Demar Williams, to get home amongst these. 6, Uncle Peg, very fit horse right now. Blinkers now on. Blinkers was off the last time. Ended up third by 2 lengths. They have now put on back the blinker. Baby to Harvey, stick with the ride. This one has pace also. Will be on the headline. So a good run is expected from Uncle Peck also. 7, Unruly Don. I took this one on last. Finished 4th by 5 lengths behind Wicked Cassie and Matuso. There's no Matuso here. No Wicked Cassie here. Unruly Don. Coming off a layoff, but it's very fit, very game, very consistent. This is another one that has speed, has pace. There are no call for the champion. Watch out for Unruly Don. This one could get the better of the favorite. But I want to take horse number 1, Titan Tempo, to get the better of 7, Unruly Don. It's going to be very close. And for third, 6, Uncle Peck. The superfecta players put Lucy in the Sky and Miniola to make it very lucrative. Moving on to race 5. It's 8 declared, 6 furlong, restricted allowance, 4 heels and up, none is of 2, imported 4 heels and up. I think I'm going to narrow this race down to 4. That is 5, Star Aurora, 6, Good Conscience, 7, Slam Sharp, 8, True Blue. Star Aurora was beaten by Stable Companion and last. That was Summer Palace, going 5.5. I think Star Aurora is very fit now. Cherry ripe for this. Robert Aladdin stick with the ride. Has a nice pace work. 6 furlong in 1:28.4 on the 24th of the 2nd. Look for Star Aurora to be right there in the final drive to the wire. 6, Good Conscience. This horse has speed, has pace. 1 on December 6th, beating Nebuchadnezzar and Papiusa. Came back on 20th of December. Was 4th by 13 lengths behind I Am Outstanding. Much better horse. Going non-2 for the first time. It's not doing bad at exercise. 4 in 49, 2 by 104, 105 in 105.4 alongside Uncle Nally. Coming off a break, but Good Conscience is the kind of horse that usually runs well when he's fresh. So I expect a very good run from this Good Conscience, and that is good enough to get the better of the favorite. 7, Slam Sharp, very fit, very game and consistent. Chase for 7 furlong and last and beat by 4:30. To win faster once again in the irons. Another good run is expected from Slam Sharp. 8, True Blue. Now this one ran a very disappointing race and last. I expect True Blue to put up a much better fight. However, something must have gone wrong on that day. It was one pace all the way behind Summer Palace. They have now replaced Tajay Suko with the champion Radish Roman. I expect True Blue to improve on that run. But I want to stick with horse number 5, Star Aurora, to get the better of 6, Good Conscience. Then for third, 8, True Blue. And for fourth, 7, Slam Sharp. Moving on to race 6, restricted maiden condition race of 4 heels and up, 12 declared, 5.5 furlong. I'm going to narrow this race down to 3. And that is 4, Miracle Selection, 7, Smoking Thumb, 8, Drop Off. Miracle Selection has been improving with each and every run. The last couple of occasions, not doing badly. And last occasion was third by 22 1/4 length behind Baby Gray and Drop Off. You see making mile gain on that day. This race is a very poor race, so Miracle Selection could improve on that run. Anthony Hallin is riding in good condition at the moment. This could be an outsider of the day. 7 Smoking Tom. This horse has been beaten by Laurie and Jody's Fun on the last occasion. Was 6 by 16 length on that day. 57 kilo with Robert Aladdin going 6.5. Likes to be in front. Will be on the headline. 5.5 furlongs right trip for this horse. Anthony Fraser. Not sure if this jockey has won a race as yet. Maybe has only one race. I'm not sure, but Smoking Tom should put up a good fight in this kind of race. 8 Drop Off was all the rage on last. Chase Baby Gray was second by 14 length on that day. Yeovil Pinnock Road Drop Off now replaced by Radish Roman. Figure 8 now on, so let's see if the figure 8 will make a difference. I think this is a straight fight between Smoking Tom and Drop Off. Anthony Fraser versus Radish Roman. I have to go with the champion. So I'm going to take 8 Drop Off to get the better of 7 Smoking Tom. Then for third, 4 Miracle Selection. There's big whisper on the track that Shan Shan is going to win. I don't see that happening here, but it's a possibility. So I'm just letting you know that Shan Shan has been highly whispered around the track. Good run is expected from 1 Brilliant Mind and 11 Moonlight Song. You could put those horses in your superfecta, high five, etc. But I have to go with Drop Off to beat Smoking Tom. Moving on, race 7. It's a maiden condition race for 3-year-olds. 6 declared 6.5 furlong. I'm going to narrow this race down to 3. 1 Passion and Beyond. 3 Another Wow. 4 Another Quality. Passion and Beyond, highly thought of, big whisper around on debut. However, this horse was scratched, had some medical issue there, and that was on 31st of January. Has some 9 furlong gallops. I haven't seen anything flashy, but they say this horse has a lot of potential. So let's see what Passion and Beyond will do. I don't like when a horse has bleeding problems. So let's see if that has been straightened out. If those issues have been corrected, then this one should have a fighting chance. But I think the other 2 horses, Another Wow and Another Quality, might get the better of this Passion and Beyond. 3 Another Wow has been very touted on most occasions. On debut, this horse 1 to 5 on the second occasion, 2 to 1, and the last occasion was even money. Still hasn't got her head in front as yet, but has been beaten by some very useful horses. Stardom, Giving Thanks, Lexi Lou. So I think this is a much easier assignment for Another Wow. Stretches out to 6.5. This one could get the better of Passion and Beyond. 4 Another Quality is another horse that has been improving each and every run. It's led for the first 6 furlong and last, leading the likes of London Spirit, Wanianza Lynx. So if Another Quality can reproduce that kind of run, should be able to pick up a piece of the pie here. I notice Radish Roman opted off this one to ride Passion and Beyond. I like the way how Another Quality carry herself on last. Trip now reduced, 6.5. I'm taking a chance in race 7. I'm going with an outsider here. This 7th race normally produce an upsetter. The favorite most of the time normally flop in this 7th race. The favorite looks like a 5-star banker, and here comes a horse that you don't expect to win normally wins race 2 and race 7. Pay attention, my supporters. Those two races generally creates an upset. So I'm going to take 4, another quality, to get the better of 3, another wow, and for third, 1, the big howling favorite, Passion and Beyond. Moving on to race 8, the restricted allowance, the 4 years and up, 8 declared, 7 furlong. I'm going to narrow this race down to 4, and that is 1, Brahma Bull, 4, I Am Outstanding, 7, Bossman. Sorry, narrow this race down to 3 horse. 1, Brahma Bull, 4, I Am Outstanding, 7, Bossman. Brahma Bull led. Pretty Brown Thing and Lockdown on last. Looks like a winner at one point, however, was caught by Pretty Brown Thing. Brahma Bull should run another good race. 7 furlong, should not reduce from 8. Champion stick with this one. Brahma Bull should run another good race. 4, I Am Outstanding, was beaten by Prince Roy on last, 4th by 4 length. Before that, 1 by 5 length, beating Roaring Kitty and 430. Continues to look well at exercise. Throw 3 furlong in 40 and 3, 6 furlong in 118 3. Dane Dawkins calls up once again. I Am Outstanding should be right there. The horse I think they will all have to beat is horse number 7, Bossman. I think Bossman is down in class here. Race at non-4, at least on 4 occasions, although they may say there's not much difference between non-3 and non-4. But Bossman race amongst far better horses. Mark My Identity, Fred the Master, Don Quezzy, American Aviator, and has done himself justice there. Second by 6 1/4 on the last occasion, a very fast run race, 1:12.4. For the first 6, final 7 furlong, 127, 54 kilo. Omar Walker maintains the ride. Anything beat Bossman will surely win. So I'm going to take horse number 7, Bossman, to get the better of number 4, I Am Outstanding, and for third, 1, Brahma Bull. Superfecta players, put Mr. Lee with hardball in your superfecta. Moving on to race 9, overnight allowance for 3 heroes and up. I'm going to narrow this race down to 4, 8 declared, 7 furlong. 2, Sensational Soul, 4, down in class, Unspun, 6, Fearless Soul, another down in class horse, 7, Oil Machine, Fit Game and Improving Sort. Sensational Soul, we see making mild progress on the last occasion in that race, won by Wall Street Trader. Sensational Soul with an extra half a furlong now with Dane Dawkins. He's very fit, he's improving. Watch out for Sensational Soul. Will be coming at them in the final furlong or so, and he's good enough to get up in time and beat these. 4, Unspun. Now this Unspun basically down in class, race at grade 1 level already. This horse has a distinction of beating interesting times ahead. Also, Unbelievable Force ran very well amongst Mojito, Money Market, Mamma Mia. Once Unspun report fit, sound, although shouldered 57 kilo. This is the horse they will all have to beat. Christopher Mandim is riding in tip-top shape right now. 6, Fearless Soul. This horse also is down in class, race at grade 1 level already, alongside Supernatural Power, Ride All Day, Pack Plays. So this is a class relief for Fearless Soul. The last occasion was 6 by 5 1/4 length behind Wall Street Traders. Was seen making rapid headway. Got an extra half a furlong, 48.5 kilo. Very handicapped. Watch out for Fearless Soul to be flying in the end. Oil Machine 7, Omar Walker maintains the ride. This horse has been improving with leaps and bounds. So in this stride and last behind Wall Street Traders and ended up second by 3 lengths. If Oil Machine breaks with them on that day, would probably give Wall Street traders much more to think about. Has an outside chance of winning this race, but I have to go with horse number 4, Unspun, to get the better of 6, Fearless Soul, then for third, 7, Oil Machine, and for fourth, 2, Sensational Soul. 10th and final, 10 declared, restricted allowance, 6.5 furlong. I'm going to narrow this race down to 5, and that is 3, Victorious Links, 4, Comuna Trece, 5, Stardom, 6, Uncle Nally, 8, Bigger Boss. Victorious Links, 4th by 2 length and last, and beat by Fernando and Any Means. Before that was a winner, beating Mope and Dark Authority. Continues to look well at exercise, 16-1, 16 flat, 5-103 Victorious Links. There's no Fernando here, so I expect Victorious Links to run a much improved race. 4, Comuna Trece was in that same race, was 6 by 5 length behind Fernando, continues to show improvement. Blinkers now off, tongue tie off, 3:35.3, 4:49.3. Comuna Trece could be the spoiler here. Do not underestimate this number 4 horse. 5, Stardom, one and last, beating another wow and another quality. Seems to have a lot of class, seems to be going places. It's going to stride and still won by 8 lengths. Stardom could be anything. Watch out for Stardom to be flying home in deep stretch. 6, Uncle Nally, third by a length behind Fernando. Very consistent at this level, no worse than third, beaten by far better horses than these. Uncle Nally, basics for the second time, should improve, and I expect this one to run a blinder in the 10th and final. 8, Bigger Boss, highly thought of, one and last, beating Stable Companion, London Spirit, and Mope. Will be all the rage. Watch out for Bigger Boss. Could be anything. Could be at a stage of rapid improvement. So, can't underestimate this Jason DaCosta, Tevin Foster charge. But I want to take horse number 6, Uncle Nally, to get the better of horse number 2, horse number 3, Victorious Links. Then for third, 4, Comuna Trece, possible outsider. And for fourth, 8, Bigger Boss. Rounding off 5, Stardom. This race could go either way, but I'm going to stick with Uncle Nally. Good run is expected from 7, Fidelity, and 1, What a Spun. That's it for my racing fans. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I want to say, I want to close by saying I must apologize for the barking a few minutes ago, but it's beyond my control. Best of luck and happy hunting.